saber tails for those hardy enough. And inside, in a few moments, we'll join Elvis Stojko live at the Bank of Montreal Canadian Figure Skating Championships. So how healthy is Mr. Stojko? Here's Debbie Wilkes.
And three-time world champion, Elvis Stojko.
He has been the single biggest topic of conversation in Ottawa. But what is not mentioned or only referred to in secretive tones is the fact that during practice, he is not skating like he's pain-free from the serious groin injury of a year ago. His coach, Doug Lee, gives the official status.
We have a good read on it, and like I say, we're trying to put it in the back of our mind and not make it any bigger deal than it is, because it's not like it happened yesterday, and we do know what we can do and what we have to do. We also know the process that we're going through to look after it daily, and if it needs more, it gets it, and if it does need more, we just move on.
The underlying worry about competing here is that it's too much too soon. Dr. Mark Aubrey from the Nepean Sports Medicine Center has a history in the treatment of similar injuries.
I think that there's no doubt that an elite athlete would recover, I think, a lot quicker, for the simple reason that that elite athlete is certainly probably has a competition coming up. He has timelines in terms of training and competition. He's going to pay a lot more attention to therapy. He's going to pay a lot more attention to stretching, to strengthening. He's going to take that necessary, he's going to dedicate himself to actually getting better. And in actual fact, it does work. You do get better a lot quicker.
In some practices, he looks like the Elvis of old, confident and clean. But in others, something is obviously bothering him. New boots or old injury. Either way, Elvis has taken every precaution short of not skating and is aggressive in creating the best possible set of circumstances to regain his world title.
We've put forth a letter saying that I would like to pull out of the Grand Prix final, and the ISU had responded and said they will take that into consideration because of my leg. The two competitions back-to-back, plus one week off, and then going to Worlds, that's kind of stretching it for me, for the leg overall. So we're going to take a reevaluation right after the Four Continents in Halifax. Again, they want to talk to me there and then make my decision right after that and decide. But I would like to go with Canadians, Four Continents, and then straight to Worlds.
Helsinki is the focus, yet the dilemma for Elvis competing here in Ottawa is how to protect that long-range goal, yet still skate with enough risk, daring, and passion to win his 5th national title.
Here's who we will show you tonight. Jason Dename, Elvis Stojko. Emmanuel Sandou has already skated. We will show you his short program during the flood. Jeff Langdon, Ben Ferreira, and we'll continue live in the Civic Center tonight. We'll show you Hugh Yick, last year's junior champion, Ravi Walia, and Derek Schmidt. We could see a quadruple jump in here tonight. Whoever does that quad, if it should be landed, would be the first ever in a short program. Jason Dename does not have a quadruple jump in his short program, but he certainly has the goods to be a contender for the podium here, Barb Underhill.
Well, he has loads of talent, but that talent has yet to translate into results. He's waiting for that big breakthrough. Triple axel combination, puts his hand down, and that's a very common mistake for Jason. He doubts himself on the landing and reaches down to touch the ice. Here's his triple lat. Hangs on.
He finished 5th last year. A former novice champion in Canada, Jason Deneme. People have always talked about his potential, his style, but you gotta land those jumps, and here's a guy who is the most prolific jumper in the history of skating. He's next on CTV. José Normand with her student, Jason Deneme, who has just skated. Again, we will show you Elvis Stojko next. There is a flood ahead, and we will also show you Emmanuel Sandou, who skated earlier tonight.
And you can see on the landing of this jump, the jump is fine in the air. He simply leans over and touches the ice, which he also did on his double axel, which was completely unnecessary for him. He'll be mad at himself for that, but that was a beautiful triple Lutz. Let's have a look at this double axel. He's fine in the air. He just reaches down and touches the ice. And I think the problem is he doesn't completely believe in his own abilities. He's just shaking his head.
Acquired elements marks will keep him back in the pack. Free skate still to come that Saturday night here in Ottawa. Presentation marks.
You can't hang back. You've got to go for broke.
And again, Emmanuel Sandou has already skated. And the guy everybody's been waiting for is on the ice.
Our next skater represents the Central Ontario section.
Elvis has clearly been holding back in practice. Here, he's been cautious. He's been very careful, but I saw flashes of the old Elvis on the warm-up. He lit up when he came out in front of this crowd.
He will try the quadruple jump in the short program. He went down at Skate America. This is a brand new short program heading towards the World Championships.
And it's called All Alone. Quadruple jump. He will be the first in history to ever land a quadruple jump in the short program. That'll be his second element. He's opening here with the triple axel combination. Oh!
That is a rarity.
He is shaking his head and looking back. Very rare. Now you wonder what he's got to do. Because the next jump is the quad. He's thinking hard here.
He's going for it.
He's gonna go. Triple.
Elvis Stoico won a medal, was presented a medal this week for his courageous effort in Nagano. Fell on his triple axel. And again, Emmanuel Sandou has already skated and may have put some heat on Elvis Stoico. We will show you Emmanuel skate when we come back.
He's shaking his head here, wondering what happened. And clearly what happened was he just didn't quite check out of the triple axel soon enough. He wasn't sharp on this landing. Here it is right here. He gets up into the air fine. He's fine in the air. It's right there. He can't hang on to that landing. He doesn't have the strength. His free leg hits the edge, hits the ice, and he falls. Here's another look. What it looks like to me is I'm questioning the strength of the groin there to be able to check out of that jump.
If there is a jump that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the abductor muscle area, it is the triple axel. That is what he hurt the groin originally on.
It takes such power and strength to check out of those revolutions. He's in the air so tight.
Well, at least they give the cameras
Momentum is so strong.
Not all it was good for. Look at this. I catch something.
You see the free leg go out wide instead of going straight back.
I'm reaching back for the toe and... Hey.
Very uncharacteristic. He has performed that jump many times over in his career. Very rarely have we ever seen him on his butt.
Rarely have we seen marks like this in a long time.
And they are accurate, however.
Well, he gets a lower base mark too on the triple jump because he performed a triple toe instead of the quad.
And I will tell you something, folks. We have a dramatic set of circumstances here in Ottawa because the four-time Canadian champion is currently in second, behind Emmanuel Sandou. And we will show you Sandou's performance when we return to the Civic Center in Ottawa. So far, Sandou is first, Stoico second, Dana May third. But wait till you see Emmanuel Sandou. That's straight ahead on CTV's coverage of the 1999 Bank of Montreal Canadian Championships. For Elvis Stoico, ever since the Olympic Games, trying to get healthy again. Was the groin a factor in this performance? He is now in second place at a championship he has owned over the last 6 or 7 years. Let's join Tracy Wilson with Elvis Stoico.
Elvis, it was the triple axel that gave you trouble in this program. I know you've been thinking about it. You've discussed it with your coach. What went wrong tonight?
Just slightly over-rotated on the upper body, but I'm used to catching it in the air like I did in land, and then as I come down here, I usually can catch this. Just pull out here, and my foot right there caught. It's such a fluky thing. I've done it in practice maybe once like that, so it happens.
Was the groin injury a factor in the landing of this jump?
No, not at all. No. I mean, you catch a landing and there's the odd one that goes off and you're able to catch it. But when I went to put my leg back, the power was there and you usually bring it out, and I just caught the ice, really fluky thing, and there goes my legs. They go up. You can't do anything.
Then you were left with very little time to gather yourself into the quad.
It's hard enough to do the quad in the program, let alone do it after you completely missed an element and then you're trying to gather yourself, you know. So I just went for it as best I could, and the body went to do a triple, and then I made the rest of the program the best I possibly could, you know. So it's the way it goes.
At any time when you're out there, does it go through your mind that you could re-injure your groin again?
No, not at all. Honestly, when I was out there, I didn't feel the groin whatsoever on the warm-up, on the jumps, nothing. Even on the axle where it's slightly off in the air, where I have to use the muscle to correct itself, didn't feel anything. That was just a mistake.
Well, looking ahead now to the long program, you're going to get another shot at doing a couple of quads.
Yeah, I guess so. I get a shot at doing a couple of quads in the long and get things together and go from there. And like I said, we're here to get the experience back, because it's tough coming back and trying to deal with, you know, the injury we had earlier on in the season and build up, and we've been behind, so we're catching up.
Okay, thanks a lot, Elvis. Let's go back now to Rod Black.
Thank you, Tracy. So that is good news about the groin. It is A-OK. The bad news for Elvis Stojko is he currently is in second, so he has his work cut out for him on Saturday night because of another young man from Richmond Hill, Ontario, who skated earlier tonight, 18-year-old Emmanuel Sandhu. Let's take you back about 90 minutes right here in the Ottawa Civic Center.
Our next speaker represents the Central Ontario section, Emmanuel Sandhu.
He is the heir apparent to Air Stojko. We got an indication last year at the Nationals when Emmanuel Sandhu finished a surprising second. Denied a trip to the Olympics, a disappointment at the Worlds. He's had 2 very good placements on the Grand Prix Series this year, and his intention is to make the World team and prove to everyone that last year was no fluke.
He's opening with his combination. Triple axel, triple toe, he's right on. You can see he's extremely focused here, concentrating every step of the way. His triple Lutz. Look at this position on this camel spin. Beautiful. Wonderful footwork sequence here. He just floats so easily and freely across the ice. And he has just put the pressure on Elvis. Elvis is going to need the quad. This was a brilliant short program.
He is balletic, athletic, and tonight majestic. Emmanuel Sandhu. And Elvis still to skate tonight. His marks in a moment. This was about 45 minutes to an hour ago. Emmanuel Sandhu. Welcome back to Ottawa, where we have just witnessed one of the great short programs in national championship history. Emmanuel Sandhu.
Look at this triple axel, triple toe combination. Absolutely flawless. And he is skating into his jumps this season with far more speed than he had last season.
Yeah, Barb.
Joanne McLeod is coach, listening.
He's greatly improved his speed.
5-6, 5-5.
last year.
I think these should even be higher because his spins were so pure.
There may be some room there. In fact, there is room for Elvis, who is still ahead. But what a performance from Emmanuel Sandhu. Well, there was room for Elvis, but he wasn't able to find it. Elvis Stojko is second. We still have more skating to come here. Can you believe it? Elvis Stojko could be third or worse heading to the free skate. But remember, Elvis is Elvis, and he knows how to rise to the occasion. We'll find out on Saturday. Emmanuel Sandhu, though, what a skate. And the rest of the short program with more skaters to come here live in Ottawa. Let's rejoin Tracy Wilson.
Thanks, Rod. Earlier today, the ice dance competition got underway with the compulsory dances. Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz are off, as expected, to an early lead. Let's take a look now at one of their compulsory dances. This dance is called the Blues. Steps are set, music, same for all the dancers. One of the many strengths that Shaylin and Victor have are very, very soft knees and deep flowing edges. And this dance highlights those strengths beautifully. To watch their free dance practice last night. A new program this year that was choreographed. It was a collaboration between Shaylin and Victor and Jane Torval and Christopher Dean. Outstanding program. You're in for a treat, and that'll happen on Sunday night on CTV. Shaylin and Victor winding down their blues compulsory dance. So they're in first place in the compulsories, but there's quite a battle heating up for second place. Lefebvre and Brunet right now in second, followed by Dubray, Lausanne, and Wing and Low. But anything can happen over the next few days of competition. Now let's go back upstairs and join Rod Black.
Okay, thanks, Trace. What a night here in Ottawa. Can you believe it? And Jeff Langdon, one of Elvis Stojko's training club mates in Barrie, might throw another wrench into Mr. Stojko's plans for a 5th Canadian championship. He's still to skate as the men's short program continues from the Civic Center in Ottawa at the 99 Nationals on CTV. And we are back live in the Civic Center in Ottawa. Men's short program continuing. We are live for the final flight of skaters. Jeff Langdon. Instead of Emmanuel Sandhu. Then didn't go to the Worlds.
For Jeff this season, he started out having a very difficult season with an injury. He's been off, and I think what he needs here is to get some momentum going. He needs to get back on that world team.
And I should mention, he did go to the Worlds and finished 8th, which gave us 2 spots for this coming Worlds. He went with Emmanuel, who underachieved at those Worlds.
And there's a look at a quad.
That's Derek Schmidt. And he might now become the first guy to land a quad in skating history in the short program. But I think there still is a buzz in this building from what happened to Elvis Stojko. And Elvis is gracious in victory and in defeat. And he just said it wasn't the groin, it was just a mistake.
I think part of the problem is the fact that he hasn't competed for so long. He doesn't have that edge. He's got to get that edge back. Maybe this fall, maybe this mistake is going to snap him back, and he's going to be fine after this.
Well, he is human, as you can tell tonight, because it's something that he doesn't do very often. Elvis is a great jumper. He's also a terrific lander. I mean, he is normally right on with the triple axel.
And clearly in practice, we've been watching him. He hasn't been 100%. He's been very cautious, very careful all week. We've been wondering what he was going to come out with when it came down to the wire. It didn't happen here tonight. Hopefully, he'll pull it all together in the long.
Talking backstage with Jeff Hutchinson from Canada AM. You can watch that tomorrow on CTV. And there's Michelle Lee, the wife of Doug Lee, who is right there as well. And now they refocus as coaches and choreographers to give their best to Jeff. Don't forget about the fight for the national team.
Jeff Langdon.
Top 5 places get international assignments. Top 3 places here, medalists, go to the 4 Continents Championships at the end of February. So Jeff Langdon, 3rd a year ago at the Nationals, behind Elvis and Emmanuel Sandhu, suddenly might be thinking about making a huge breakthrough right now.
And the key to this short program for Jeff is the very, very first jump, the triple axel. What he needs to do is be sharp on the landing. He tends to over-rotate the jump. He needs to be very strong on his landing foot. Triple axel. He goes down. Now he has to pull himself together here because his next element is very difficult. Triple combination. Triple flip, triple toe plan. And he didn't get a good toe, but he saved it. Put a double on the end, though.
Jeff Langdon. He earned Canada 2 spots at the upcoming World Championships thanks to his 8th place finish in Minneapolis last spring. His desire now is to be one of those 2 men heading towards Helsinki. Has it been a banner night for the triple axel and the Mariposa Club, has it?
No, it hasn't, and this is the same mistake that he makes very often in practice. He's fine in the air, he just doesn't check out of that jump strong enough. And as we mentioned before, there's so much momentum coming out of that jump. It's tough to check out. Here's his triple flip. Didn't get a good toe in the air, so he didn't get the height that he needed. Doesn't have the speed coming out to complete a triple on the end. But this was a beautiful triple loop here, connecting steps into the triple loop, right on.
Jeff handled the situation last year with such class.
Oh, baby.
In reality, everyone knew who was involved in skating that indeed 3 men should have gone to the Olympics, but it didn't happen, so Jeff went along with Elvis and then went to the Worlds and skated very well to give Canada that extra spot. Elvis hurt and not able to compete.
4-9, 4-8, 5-1, 5-1.
Required elements marks 4-8, 4-9, 5-0. Jeff's going to have a tough time staying in third. But presentation marks are up there. So the battle lines will be drawn for Saturday night. And that podium and those top 2 places. Sandhu leads. Stoico is second. And Jeff Langdon is third here in Ottawa.
Next skater represents the Alberta section, Ben Ferreira.
And again, making the national team is a big thing. Finish in the top 5. You get increased funding. You get international assignments, and that is the goal for Ben Ferreira. The 19-year-old from Edmonton, 6th in Canada a year ago.
Very close to making that national team last year and has a good shot at it this year. He's looked very good in practice here, very determined. He's got great speed heading into this triple Lutz. Very nice. Triple toe, and he hangs on. Triple combination. He's looking really focused and determined here. And the most critical element here for him, and for almost everyone, the triple axel. Oh! Just doesn't check out quite hard enough there. Next jump here, a triple flip jump. Oh, same mistake as the triple axel. Just didn't check out hard enough on that landing. He should have had that.
Had he landed that, he might have put a serious squeeze on Elvis Stoico.
Well, he certainly has an added maturity to his skating this year. He's grown up a lot. And he's making it look like it's easy, like he's having fun.
A couple of step-outs will cost him in the judges' eyes. But Ben Ferreira will be one of the contenders in the free skate on Saturday night. And Ferreira rising to the occasion on a night of surprises here in Ottawa. Emmanuel Sandhu, the leader. Perfect. Elvis Stoico, not so perfect, in second place. Jeff Langdon in third. And Ben might find himself right in the running here. National team, as I mentioned earlier. Look at the money that you can make as a skater. If you're not in the top 5, very, very difficult to find some funding for coaching and ice.
It makes a huge difference to some of these skaters and their parents when you finally reach the point where you get some backing.
He certainly has the talent, Ben Ferreira.
Here's this triple axel. You can see right on the landing, right Keep going there. Right there. Keep going. Keep going. And he just turns out of it right there. He just can't hold that landing strong enough.
I think you're better than Howie Meeker at that. That's good. And here's the combination.
This was a beauty off the top. He came out so determined. Triple Lutz. Up into the triple toe loop. Nailed it.
It may have been very difficult for the judges, had he stayed clean, to start thinking about pushing Stoico a little bit out. But here come the marks. And he will have some deductions.
He'll be kicking himself for that turn out of the triple flip. Because these would have been quite a bit higher.
Presentation marks will be higher.
I don't know what they're going to do with this.
And Ben Ferreira will find himself down in 6th position as they announce the marks to the audience. Ben finished 6th, as I mentioned, last year, 7th the year before, so he's made gradual improvement at the national level. And now the judges apparently have changed their marks, so maybe they'll be a little bit better second time around. Here they come.
4-8, 4-6.
And I still think they're
4-7, 4-8, 5-0.
in the 4 6s, 4 8s, 5-0.
Marks for presentation.
Ben was hoping for a better set on that second set. Presentation marks, they are nice.
5-3.
So he's in 6th.
5-5.
Sandu is still 1st. And Elvis Stoico. Very rare position. Will have to come from behind on Saturday night. There's his mother, Irene. And the entire Stoico, who was 10th at the Canadians a year ago. 3rd in 1997 as a junior.
He opens triple Lutz. Variation on the position of that camel spin to the back sit. Triple flip, double toe. And his last jump element is a double axel, which he singles.
Born in Whitewood, Saskatchewan, makes his home in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Ryan Hamilton at the Nationals. Ryan Hamilton 10th in Canada a year ago. Up to skate in the final flight. Some of the higher ranked skaters in Canada.
He was looking a little bit cautious out there.
But there's nothing like experience being part of this. The luck of the draw, you get skating in this flight. And he will look ahead to his free skate. He's currently 11th on the ladder, with 2 skaters to come. There's our leader. Highly unlikely that someone will vault over him. He should be the leader heading towards Saturday. 2 skaters, as I mentioned. Both of them have quadruple jumps in their arsenal. We thought Elvis could become the first in a short program. Maybe Ravi Walia could become the first.
Well, Ravi is planning a quad because he can't do the triple axel. So he is forced to attempt the quad. He can land 2, the triple sow and the triple toe. He'll be attempting the quad sow. It's the first element of his program. He wasn't given credit for it, however, because the judges said that he 2-footed the quad. But boy, that was the highlight of his career. Oh, and that's why he can't do a triple axel. He just singled his double axel.
And you can say what you want about the quadruple jump. The most important jump in men's skating is still the triple axel.
And that was supposed to be triple lutz. And he pulled out in the middle of the air. He's really struggling out here. Struggled with injury this past season, and actually for a great part of his career. It's been one thing after another, and really he has only been back doing all his elements the last week and a half. So I'm sure he didn't really expect too much coming into this championships.
Six years ago, though, he burst onto the scene like Emmanuel Sandhu did a couple of years ago, and Ravi Walia won the junior championship of Canada, but he's still trying to get back up the ranking. Walia, boy, when he gets up there, though, he's like a helicopter. Does he ever spin? Unfortunately, he could just not get that quad underneath his feet tonight.
I think possibly he had a difficulty out there with his lace. It didn't look to be as tight as he would have liked. But that was a very good attempt at that quad sow-cow.
Only one skater in the world has ever landed a quadruple sow-cow. That's Timothy Gable of the United States.
And he gets docked for all 3 of his jumping elements here. So these marks are really disappointing.
Stock has plummeted for sure. Ravi will try to put it back together in the free skate on Saturday. He's currently at 9. One skater to come, and he too has the quadruple jump.
Our next skater represents the Eastern
And here he is.
section, Derek Schmidt.
And he's a hometown boy from Ottawa. This is 24-year-old Derek Schmidt. And in practice this week, he has been a quad god.
He has landed it very consistently. Boy, has he done a lot of work in the past year. He actually landed the quad earlier this year in a qualifying event. Very unusual body type to be trying quads. He's 6'3". It's his very first element. He'll be attempting the quad toe. Triple axel. Very nice. It looked like it may have been a double foot, but it was close. Double axel, and we've seen this a few times tonight. He singled out on that double axel.
Derek Schmidt went for it. And still, no one has been able to land a quadruple jump in a short program on this planet. It's going to happen someday, but maybe there's too much emphasis placed on that 4-revolution leap. Final skater of the night, his marks in a moment. Derek Schmidt, last skater. Where will he be in this configuration heading towards the free skate on Saturday night? If you've just joined us, Emmanuel Sandou is the leader after the short program. Elvis Stojko is second after he fell on a triple axel and did not even really attempt his quadruple jump. He only had 3 revolutions in it. So Stojko is second, Sandou is first. And where's Derek Schmidt going to be?
Well, his hopes coming in were to be in the top 5 so he could gain some international experience. However, with that mistake there on the quad and the major mistake that he had by doing a single axel instead of a double, that was a very, very nice triple axel double toe combination. I think had he done the double axel, he may have been able to hung in there to make it into the top 5 in the long program. However, he's got to be extremely disappointed with this.
Interesting atmosphere in this building tonight, wasn't it?
People, I think, don't know quite what to think here.
We saw the arrival of Emmanuel Sandou last year. We saw his real emergence tonight. Brilliant program. And Elvis Stojko has some work to do still on the way to the Worlds.
We're never quite sure what to think of Emmanuel because we've seen moments of brilliance and moments where he just completely falls apart. You never quite know what he's going to do.
He's also only 18 years old. And remember, there are also 2 programs at a national championship. On a night that the king fell, a young prince rose. Emmanuel Sandou's the leader. And we'll talk to him when we come back to Ottawa in the 1999 Bank of Montreal Canadian Championships. Emmanuel Sandou, 18 years old, second in Canada a year ago. Everyone said, surprise, surprise, look out for him. Surprise, surprise, again. Tonight he is the leader after the short program, the free skate Saturday night. Elvis Stojko, falling on his triple axel, is in second position. Jeff Langdon is third. Jason Desnomme is fourth. Jean-Francois Hébert skated earlier in the evening, skated very well. He's currently in fifth. Ben Ferreira, as you saw, in sixth. Daniel Belmar, seventh. Hugh Yick, the junior champion from last year. We did not see him tonight. We'll see him on Saturday. Derek Schmidt is ninth. Ravi Walia in 10th position. Jeffrey Buttle in 11th, and the rest of the men in the short program. But what a dramatic night here in Ottawa. And let's join Tracy Wilson with the leader.
Thanks, Rod. Emmanuel, the short program is a program that has given you all kinds of trouble in the past. Not tonight. You look totally comfortable. What was different?
Well, I made a pact with myself, and I said that I'm going to skate this program perfectly, or else, you know, what's the point of doing it at all? And I've taken that from my other 2 competitions that I've done this year. I did a good short program in Paris and not a very good one in Japan, and I wanted to redeem myself.
How did you feel when you were skating out there? Nervous at all, or?
Not nervous. I felt actually like I was on a different planet. Maybe it was because I was so focused, I don't know, but I had so much fun, and I was trying to make eye contact with the audience and just bring them in and relaxed.
But you still had the focus to do the required elements. Let's take a look now at your triple Lutz, and you can talk me through it.
Well, I was actually afraid of this jump. It actually, looking at it now, it went up quite well, and I said to myself, okay, no matter what, I'm going to do it.
How does it feel to be in first place after the short program?
It feels a little bit different, but it's just a short program after all, and I still have the long program, and I'm just going to skate my best. And
now, this is a program, the long program, that you have had a lot of success with. Tell me about it.
Well, it's skated to violin concertos by several composers, and I love the music, and it carries me through, and I skate with my soul, and that music is just perfect for my bubbly soul.
We look forward to watching you on Saturday. Thanks, Emmanuel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go to Rod Black.
Can you believe he said he was afraid? Elvis Stojko couldn't deliver the short program tonight. We'll be back to wrap up because Emmanuel Sandou did deliver. The kid in eye makeup is the leader after the short program. We are back in Ottawa. Night 1, opening night. Emmanuel Sandou to rave reviews in his short program. Near perfect. Said he was afraid. I can't believe that one. And Elvis Stojko in second, Jeff Langdon in third. And Emmanuel Sandou is so bright-eyed. He's a fresh face. He's really, as we said, the heir apparent, probably the future of Canadian men's skating when Elvis is done. But you and I had a very interesting conversation on the way to the rink tonight.
Yeah, I said to you, I said, if Elvis makes a mistake, there's somebody that's there now that will put the heat on. And Emmanuel has taken his skating to a new level. He's now got the speed, he has the presence, he has everything. He lands a quad now. He's going to probably attempt one in the long program, but he has everything so that now when Elvis isn't on, it's a battle.
And let's take a look at what happened to Elvis Stojko, who skated about 45 minutes to an hour after Sandou. And here's the triple axel that really caused the downfall of his program.
And I thought it might be the groin right here. He certainly doesn't think it's the groin. I think it might be just the fact he needs to get some competition under his belt. All the other guys have been competing all season long, one after another. Elvis hasn't. He's got to get sharp. He's got to get that edge back. And he's going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight in that long program.
I think the thing about Elvis Stojko we've always and should consider is the man is one of the most focused athletes around, and he thrives on confidence, which he may be lacking, like you mentioned.
I think he's lacking that focus, and he needs to figure out how to find it again. I think maybe this is the wake-up call that can do that for him, that can get him back on track, get the momentum that he needs to get his season going here.
We will have a wrap-up on Sports Central on our cable sister right after this on Sportsnet. Tonight at 10 o'clock in most of the regions. We'll talk more about Elvis and Emmanuel. Sandhu was brilliant tonight. Don't forget, for most of you across the country, ER is next. The pairs competition earlier tonight. The men, Christy Sargent and Chris Wirtz, the leaders after the short program. Saleh and Pelche are currently in second. We'll have the women and the original dance tomorrow night here in Ottawa. Don't forget the men's free skate on Saturday. Sargent and Wirtz in first, along with Emmanuel Sandhu after tonight's night of intrigue in the Civic Center. For Barb Underhill, Debbie Wilkes, and Tracy Wilson, this is Rod Black. We will see you tomorrow night at the Nationals. Good night, everybody, from Ottawa.